back to my channel, Adventures with Amirah. Today I have my top 3 tips for saving money at Disney World. And these are things that I didn't share with you in my previous video. If you've not seen that, we'll link it down for you below. Those are different types of tips. These are tips on the actual travel and getting to your destination and then booking your rooms there. So number 1 is we plan our travel around when the cheapest airfare is available. And we've done that no matter where we lived in the country. If you're driving in, you can stay tuned for my other tips. But for airfare, it changes dramatically. If we can get non-stop flights, that's normally what we prefer. We used to always fly non-stop from Denver to Orlando, and I never would pay more than about $350 for a flight. Once we actually flew down here for $139 a piece. I don't even know how I came across those tickets. But I do this with all of our travel destinations. I normally put what we want on airfarewatchdog.com, and what happens is they email you or text you when airfares for certain cities that you're interested in drop. And there's several different services online that you can do that through, and they'll let you know when your airfares drop. But we always booked our trips around that. So for instance, just because my kids are on spring break at a certain time, that's not necessarily when we would go to Disney. If it was going to save us, at one point I think it saved us almost $4,000 to travel at a different time of year. We just pull the kids out of school. We normally would go Thursday to Tuesday on our trips. When you're booking airfare, certain days of the week have better travel deals. Normally Thursday fares and Wednesday fares are a little bit lower. On return flights out of Orlando, we normally would get really good deals coming back on a Tuesday. Obviously, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Mondays are difficult because people are coming in or leaving, and you're going to have a lot more competition for those flights. But that's what we always did, and we would save a ton of money doing that. We just watched when the airfares would drop, and then we would go ahead and book our trip around our airfare. We would buy our airfare first and then book the trip around it, because you can always find a hotel or something in Orlando. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of hotels, and obviously tickets are always available, but airfare comes and goes, and it can change by the second. Literally, you could be clicking purchase and the airfare jump up by hundreds of dollars. So if you find airfare, they don't hold them for you anymore. They used to hold it sometimes for maybe 24 hours, but most companies can't do that anymore. So if you find a good deal on airfare, definitely purchase as soon as you find that. I'm going to be updating you guys soon on our trip to Europe that's coming up, and I will share with you guys the amazing deal I got on airfare for that as well. Number 2, check back and forth with Disney and see when they're going to be having a sale. Sometimes the representatives at Disney Travel know that, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes you can get online updates, but we normally would never book a room unless we could get it 25 to 30% off. There are certain times of year that they seem to drop their room prices, and sometimes that's dependent upon availability. So if they thought they would have more people in and they didn't, you can get last minute specials at a better rate, because you know they're just trying to fill up the rooms, and they'll do a special suddenly. But a tip that a lot of people don't know is, even if you book your room ahead of time with Disney and the price drops, they will accommodate you for that. If you call them and say, hey, what is the price right now on this room that I booked? If it's a lower price, they'll actually change your price and give you that, even if it's already prepaid. So that's an amazing thing that Disney does for their customers. We've actually saved about $500 that way before, where we booked our room almost 6 months out, and we kind of watch it go up and down, and about 4 months in, the rooms just changed prices. They were running a special, and they actually did that for us. But they won't, of course, call you and tell you that the price dropped. You just have to keep checking on your room to see if the price has dropped, and then you can get the room at the discounted rate. Number 3, book your room when you can get the free dining plan. Now, sometimes if you have the option between 30% off or free dining, it doesn't equate. You would do better off according to what type of resort you're staying in. Obviously, if you're staying in the Grand Floridian, you're going to be better off probably getting the 30% off of your room rate. But if you're staying in a moderate to deluxe resort, a little bit on the less expensive end, then you probably will do well to book it when you're going to be getting free dining. And just to have the dining plan is such a weight off of your shoulders, because you know that there's always going to be food available. There's so many different restaurants within Disney World to eat at, and like I've said before in my previous video, you want to plan out your meals to save money so that you can really utilize your dining plan and get the best reservations possible. You can book your reservations for dining 6 months out, and I'm not kidding you when I said it has been, when we were in Colorado, of course, we're behind. So I'm up in the middle of the night as soon as Disney Dining opened for reservations 6 months out to call to get my reservation for Cinderella's Castle. It was for one of my children's birthdays, and we've been trying to eat there for at least 4 years, and we never could get a reservation. So, and it's the same thing I know with the Be Our Guest restaurant for Beauty and the Beast, and especially now with the new movie coming out, it's going to book up really fast. But you can book 6 months out, and I would recommend that as well. All right, thanks. I have more tips coming up for you guys in the future. Enjoy your holidays if you're on your way to Disney. Have a magical day. Bye-bye.